So the core, as I mentioned, typically in commercial spaces, this is where you will find the cores we're talking about. This is where elevators usually run throughout the entire building. Stairs run throughout the entire building from top to bottom. Your restrooms are usually stacked throughout the building, and that helps because of plumbing stacks and everything. So that is a starting point that you're given. And these are a great place, kind of like we talked about on a smaller scale. The fireplace is a good place to start building off of. On a larger scale, the core is a good space to start designing off of. It really helps you create a space that's easy to navigate and really helps make efficient use of the corridor space. Because as you see in like some of these examples, when you have an office right off the corridor instead of, or sorry, it's off the core, instead of a hallway surrounding it, you're given a much easier space to navigate. It's less maze-like, and it's a much more efficient use of the space. Um, Typically, these things are all together. Sometimes you will also have separate stairwells further away from the main core because of egress requirements and how many people are in the building. So here's some example. It can become a very complex, but I'm trying to think, not meaning complex and like confusing, but it can become very, instead of having restrooms, you can have a lot of items in one space, if that makes sense. So for example, here they've started with the restrooms that are here. They've added a conference room to one side. They've added part of a break room to the other side. And then they've continued the wall on this back side to give you 3 offices and a work area. All of that kind of continues, and then this has a stairwell over here. They let that continue to develop the space to frame walls for the reception space as well, and then work tables around it. This example up here, they have elevators and stairs here, and then restrooms here. And they've used that, the center in between it becomes the lobby. And then they have used really the back side of both of these. Like there's a training room over here. Again, extended this wall to create a space. And on this one, used the back side for some seating and work lounge around here. So interior spaces and rooms, you can usually think of them or divide them into main spaces and support spaces. So living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms are where a lot of living occurs, where a lot of the activities are. And then a kitchen supports that. Kitchen can also be a main space depending on how it's laid out. But a closet is another good supporting space that goes through. For a commercial space, your offices, your not break areas, your offices, your waiting rooms are main spaces. Your copy, print, storage rooms are support spaces. You have to design both spaces and incorporate that because you need it. You can't have a great house layout and one closet. So you've got to make sure you've got what you need for both of those. So this one just shows an example of some of those different spaces. So food prep is here. They've got an island that divides it from, kind of kitchen and dining area is separated. They have a central core here that they've created where it is the stairs, and then they've got storage and a restroom off the side here. You've got private restrooms and bedrooms on one side that are off to the side. And then you've got this central area where most people are coming in, visitors and residents alike. So making sure, again, you've got both types of spaces incorporated and making sure they lay out where they make sense for who needs to use them, whether it's a resident or a visitor throughout the space.